Hey folks, grab a seat, because today we're porting Dorian Storm into Daggerheart. Yes. Welcome, Robbie. So happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. I've got my biggest smile and my shortest shorts.
That is how we met.
I'm so excited. I've never played this.
I know.
I have no idea what we're doing. I can't wait.
It's gonna be great. Well, as Dorian is an 8th level character equivalent to where he would be in our campaign of 16 normally. So we're taking this in 8th level. We're gonna start as making a 1st level character, and then we're gonna level him up to 8 once we have him built from level 1. So, since you are a bard, we're gonna start with the bard class here.
My goodness.
If you wanna go ahead and write in level 1 there.
Yep.
Perfect. So, the beginning of the bard class experience is choosing a subclass.
If I'm building a character, it's going to be off a thematic and backstory based. So I do not think I could justify having Dorian be a wordsmith. He gets a little tripling on the tongue for him. So let's do the troubadour. That sounds fun.
You got it. So your subclass, troubadour, for your bard right there.
Yes.
Perfect.
Fantastic. He looks just like me.
Great. And then now that we have the subclass chosen, since you're Air Genasi in the campaign, we're going to move into your heritage for the character, which involves your ancestry and your community. We have the Skykin, which is the Daggerheart equivalent of like an air elemental lineage, which has a couple of thematic abilities there.
You put my picture on it.
I did.
Well, you put Dorian's picture on it.
I put Dorian's picture on there for you. But that is part of our Void content, which is the playtest, public-facing playtest content for Daggerheart. So if you want to see what this looks like, you can go and check it out on the Void. So that's part of your heritage.
Okay.
The other half is your community. So this represents the community that you've come from, whether it be the one you were raised in or the one that you spent the majority of your time with.
So I think if you were to give me the highborn choice, if we were like back in EXU days, however far ago, I wouldn't have done it because he was trying to hide it.
But this is him now.
But now that it's out in the open, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with highborn.
Let's go.
All right, cool.
Alrighty, so highborn it is. I'll take those back.
Sweet.
So yeah, so now that we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and start putting out some of your character traits and your evasion score. So your bard evasion starts at 10, so you can write 10 there, and that can be adjusted by cards and leveling up.
I think I've got it. I think I'm gonna go 2 presence,
Alrighty.
1 agility, 1 strength, because he's a beefy boy. I'm gonna go flat on finesse, flat on knowledge, and -1 on instinct.
Instinct. Sure, let's go.
Why did you say that with such trepidation in your voice?
No, it's fascinating.
Have I made a terrible mistake?
No, not at all.
I don't know. I just feel like he's able to recall, analyze, and comprehend, but perhaps perceive and sense and navigate, maybe not right out of the way. He's just kind of floating on the wind. I'm -1 in that, baby.
Which is probably a good thing, given the fact that your boyfriend canonically is probably the most perceptive creature to exist on Exandria.
Yes, we're doing the codependency build. I love it. Good. I've got it. I'm ready.
So now you finished your traits, you finished your evasion.
Yeah.
We can start choosing your weapons and armor, as well as your equipment. So I have taken your magical items of your core set in the main campaign and converted them into Daggerheart. So these will be very powerful for level 1, but these you will eventually level up to kind of fill them out before we're done here. So first, Gambleclef, the Vortex Blade, the family sword that Dorian had received from his father.
Sounds like a level 1 sword. Got it.
Totally. So it has some cool abilities.
Yep.
That's Gambleclef right there for your disposal.
Yeah.
For your armor, we have your mithril half-plate from the campaign. And so your thresholds are your armor thresholds plus your level. So that would be a 14 and a 32.
But this is gonna change, right?
Should
I do it now?
Do a little light if you want to.
I'll write light, yeah.
But that's your armor.
Okay.
Your final ability here is the winged boots, which it just, much like the campaign, you can fly with them on.
I like this one. It just says, you can fly.
You can fly.
Pretty sweet.
Yep. So yeah, that is more or less your main equipment. So now with that, we have your inventory finished. Now we can take your first level domain cards. And this is kind of where the meat of the character leveling happens. You get to choose 2 cards of these 6 first level between those 2 domains. So if you want to look those over and decide which 2 you want to take.
Has anybody ever done this? Hold them.
Okay.
This one, my gut's saying this one. Okay, great. So off-brand, but I want it anyway. I pulled the Deft Deceiver. Oh no! I can't lie to save my life.
Pick one more from here.
Ooh, this looks good.
Okay.
Just because of the art. I don't know what it is. The Book of Ava?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually like my pulls. I'm happy with it. Sweet.
So we'll set these here for now because these are still cards that you can choose down the road as
Okay.
we go. But those are your level 1 domain cards. Now we get to figure out your starting experiences.
Ooh, okay. Let me sit on one. One I've been really thinking about that I know that's always been the justification for his higher strength and agility stats were the fact that if you were in that world of privilege, you would have like great trainers as a young person. So that was always my backstory justification of why Dorian was so fit and so agile. I imagine him to have like the best swordsmaster teacher, the best acrobatics teacher. So I want to do something that like gives me some kind of boon to physical things that have to happen.
Athletically trained could be your experience if you wanted it to be.
What about I'll do triple T. I'll do top tier trainers.
Let's go. Top
Okay.
tier trainers.
Okay. Well, let's do the second one now, so we have to come back for it. Let's call it. So if we had top tier trainers, let's do this one self-taught, to where it applies to music.
It's like a quick learning minstrel.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Quick learning minstrel. Okay, cool. That looks great.
Awesome.
We did it together.
So we'll start that I believe more or less concludes the base level 1 Dorian build. Let's go ahead and level you up to level 2. So the leveling up here, you now enter the second tier of your character's experience.
Okay.
So at level 2, you gain an additional experience of +2, so now you add a third one.
Oh, at +2?
At +2.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Like as examples of like experiences you've had, being that close to Opal through that experience means like you could have an innate connection or experience with darker artifacts and dark magic, and be like scarred by dark magic, in which case you could be like,
Oh, hold up. First of all, Scarred by Dark Magic is the most amazing, like anything anyone's ever said, album, film. If you released a standalone called Scarred by Dark Magic, I would absolutely listen to it, regardless of what genre of music. I'm writing it in Scarred by Dark Magic.
well, like as an example, but yeah, you
Oh
can
my
use it.
God, I hope you continue to live a good life. But if that's the name of your biography in like 30 years, I'll be so stoked.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Also, you increase your proficiency by 1, so you fill in your second proficiency.
And that gets me that extra hit die, right?
Correct. So whenever you deal weapons with your damage or do any damage with a spell that uses your proficiency, you now do an additional die, which is great.
I'm gonna lightly pencil in 2.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's great.
You now get to do the meat of the leveling up. You get to mark 2 of these boxes.
Okay.
To choose.
I'm gonna bump my evasion up, and I'm gonna give myself another stress slot.
Let's go.
That feels on brand.
Evasion goes up to 11.
If I can max out my capacity for stress, surely my life will get better.
This is supposed to be role-playing, Robbie.
Oh, sorry.
So with the end of that, you now get to choose another domain card. These domain cards can be of 2nd level
Okay.
or lower
Okay.
of the Codex or Grace domains.
I gotta do the Book of Vagras.
Vagras.
I gotta do the Book of Vagras. Yeah.
Pretty useful.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm gonna take that for sure.
All right, there you go.
You can have that back.
I'm gonna leave these here because once again, these will still be accessible for choices down the road. Level 3!
You were taunting me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, there's level 3.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you can
sweet.
mark this up here to level 3.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna max out. We're cortisol maxing in this house, baby. I'll take another stress point, and I will do one more hit point.
Let's go.
I like to be a little bit beefier. Do I get a card from level 3?
Oh, that's right. No, you get a card level 3.
Yeah.
That is the other part. These are the new options you have, as well as any of the remaining ones if you'd like.
I like to go. I like go poof. I'll take the invisibility.
Visibility and
Yeah.
lock it in.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're going to level 4,
Yep.
which is our last level of this tier.
Okay.
So
So
you
one
mark
more
level
time.
4.
Yep. And then do I do the same dance again?
Yep, same dance one more time. Make your last 2 choices within the second tier.
Yes. I feel like I have to bonus in the 2 unmarked character traits.
So you can, like, for instance, increase presence to 3, but then you mark it, which means you can't increase it any further until you go to the next tier.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna take that to 3. I'm gonna take my agility up.
Let's go.
Okay.
So you have one more check to do, because you've only, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have one more you can pick, which means you can either increase 2 other stats by 1, or you could increase experiences.
I'm gonna pump those stats up one more
Let's do
time.
it!
Why not? So I had done that one and that one. I'm gonna get myself, I gotta get myself out of the pits. I can't look at that negative one.
Okay.
It'll drive me insane. I'm gonna take my strength up. I'm gonna go, okay, 220030, nice and balanced. Great.
All right, so that finishes your 4th level up, except for choosing from your domain card. So you have these new options to pick from, as well as any of the lower levels if you'd like.
This is so exciting. I feel like I'm getting an entire campaign's worth of level ups in like 45 minutes. I'm being true to my build. I'm gonna take you read that for me.
Book of Exoda.
Yes, fantastic.
Repudiate, create concert. Oh, wow, okay.
Seems interesting. I don't know, I want it.
All right, so now you're leveling up to level 5.
Okay, taking a 5er. There it is.
So at level 5, you gain an additional experience at +2.
Okay, wait, so I get another experience.
Correct, at +2.
What about like a gentleman duelist, where I have, since if you were working with I imagine most of Dorian's combat experience pre-campaign would be one-on-one with an instructor. What if there's like an advantage on a one-on-one combat?
Gentleman Duelist sounds like an awesome experience.
Sick. Okay. This is so fun. Sorry. I'm drinking coffee and I'm having fun. I'm getting loud. I'm sorry.
That's good. No, you're allowed.
Okay, good.
You also get to add another +1 bonus to your proficiency. So now your rapier does 3d8.
What are we talking about? That's wild. Okay.
And you can also spend 1 to upgrade your subclass if you wanted to become the next level of Troubadour.
Well,
If you want to.
don't hide that behind your magic. But this is the next level. And is there one beyond this?
There is a mastery. That's just a specialization.
To access that,
You have to get to the final tier, which you will get there at level 8.
but do I need?
That to get the mastery?
Yeah, is it like a prerequisite?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's really built to be. Yeah, I get it. Because this is the middle level. It's kind of mid, but it's making you fight for this, because this is pretty tough. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it. I'll take the middle level.
You got it.
Fantastic.
So you can mark that for your for one of those down there.
Dude, I'm gonna bump that evasion up again. I'm never gonna let that
Let's
one
go. Great. And with that, we now choose one of the new cards.
1 or 2.
You get 1.
All right, Words of Discord.
Good choice. Good choice.
That looks like fun.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Now let's go ahead and bring it to level 6.
I feel like so much is on the line at this point. Okay, we're still cortisol maxing. I'm gonna do double stress points.
Let's go.
Maximum stress. Boom. All right,
Look at that. And then now you get to choose of the new 6th level cards of your
cool.
2 domains.
Yeah. Okay. I love a little glass cannon action. I love a little heavy gambit. And since I am stressing myself to the max, this never upstaged seems highly exploitable. I would like to take this, sir.
Let's go.
Okay, this is a cool card.
Put that down there.
Okay.
All right, that finishes level 6. Let's go to level 7. We're almost at the apex here.
All right, I'm gonna see the change I want to see in the. I'm going to max out my damage output. Yeah, I'm gonna take that extra.
This is a Dorian that's watched too much taken from him in recent times, and is.
I always wanted to be effective in combat. My chance.
It is. And so with those chosen, we now get to add the 7th level cards to your next choice.
Okay, cool. I would do. Give me that endless charisma. Who am I? Don't lie to yourself.
There we go.
All right, cool.
All right, and now level 8.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, and so now with the new tier, you gain another experience in +2.
Man.
Like things like Silver Tongue or only wears sheer shirts to...
Titties out?
Titties out could be one.
Oh, man. I feel like we have to.
Bro, go for it.
Done!
Yes!
What, it's just everyone immediately likes me?
If you spend a hope to add +2 to that roll,
Hypnotized by petite areola is
hey,
what
you know, haven't we all?
I'm sorry. When someone is that confident to wear something like that, I feel like it often puts other people, it can put other people at ease sometimes.
Other people at unease.
And other people at unease. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
the right kind of person and the wrong kind of, like you see someone that confident, you go, oh, well, I'm gonna be friends with them. That's easy. They're comfortable with themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, that titties out has a lot of functionality.
I've been putting parentheses to remind myself. I'm just gonna put 3 question marks right here. I'll figure out how to use it later.
Beautiful, I love it.
Great.
All right, so with that, so plus you get Carl marks,
Okay.
hair treats, and you gain a +1 bonus to your proficiency, which becomes a 5 now.
Oh my gosh. A 5er?
I mean, you leaned into it twice. So
I
yeah.
did. I'm thinking
now
about
that is-
doing. I'm thinking about maxing.
So that's now 5d8.
Oh boy.
Well, you got 2 more points you can spend, which you could use to increase your proficiency again.
I really could. Trust me. If I haven't been thinking about it, I have.
You could also spend one of them to take that final level of Troubadour that you were working
Well, I
towards.
have to. I'll take that, please.
that
That's
master.
why I put the thank you for reminding me.
No worries. So you put that's 1 mark into that, which is upgrading your subclass.
Yeah, there it is.
So you got 1 more to spend amongst many choices.
So I'm gonna take that extra HP.
Let's go.
All right.
Mark that. All right, so with those 2 marked, we have your final domain card choice. Bro.
What?
I mean, you do you.
That's my highest level spell, right?
Yeah,
This is for funsies, isn't it?
possibly.
Let's do it. Come on.
Remember,
man.
you can always change these later before we play the game.
No, I like
Okay.
card choices.
Hold on.
I feel like there's some kind of magic going on over there. Oh, sweet baby. Fantastic. This looks great. Okay, I picked astral projection, something I tried to do a lot when I was 13. Like I read one of those books on my grandpa's bookshelf and I was like, I could probably do this. Yeah, pineal gland activate.
I think with that, Dorian Storm is ready for whatever I have in store for you at Gen Con live on stage.
This is so much fun. I didn't expect to have this much fun.
I'm so glad.
This is really cool. It's a cool process. It's super easy, and I feel like if you know these rules, guiding someone through it is pretty darn easy. How fun!
Hey folks, we did it. We finished. We made Dorian and Daggerheart. So thank you for joining us. If you want to see this version of Dorian sing to the tune of Daggerheart, of course, go check out our indie live show, Oaths and Ash. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you very much. And is it Thursday yet? Take care.